It's said people can learn a lot from a horse. Coming up on Prime, meet an experienced instructor who helps bring people and horses together to form a true partnership. Hi, I'm Emily Hargrove and welcome to Prime. So in Dallas, there is a name synonymous with learning to ride, and that name is Becky Brown. With over 35 years of instructing all skills, all levels, and all ages, Becky Brown is here to tell us about the skills of learning to ride, but also, more importantly, the partnership that is the human-horse bond. Becky, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Emily.
So it is a true pleasure to have you because you are, well, in my life, you're the best person that I've ever met in terms of, well, generally, but in terms of horses. I mean, you have this most amazing way about you with horses and your patience and with humans too. And I think we all just we can learn so much from horses. And and people don't realize that as much. So the human-horse bond, tell me, what was it that drew you to that?
Well, growing up, I was like all the other little girls. I had a consuming passion. And if you ask my husband, it's still the same. My parents thought I'd outgrow it, and I never did. There's something about horses that if you take the time to really watch them, they communicate with you. And that sounds like the horse whisper, and it's not really horse whispering. It's just being observant. And to me, I love teaching, and I've taught probably thousands of children. But to me, it's watching how the students react with the horse and how the horses react to the student. And it's a way for people to learn how to improve themselves in life.
It really is. I mean, there are things that you do in life that you absolutely cannot do when you're around a horse, because the horse will tell you. And we were talking off camera before just about about people in business, the way that they, some people just, the pragmatic skills are gone. They don't treat people well. But then the things that you do with horses, if they could come and have a slice of what you do, then it could change for everybody for the better.
Well, there's the trait of patience is gone in our society, or it's leaving us, because everything is high tech, everything is very fast. One of the things that I tell my parents is the horse makes you slow down. Mm-hmm. You can't go fast with a horse. And if you watch the old movies, I love old movies, they've got the stage and the camera stays there and you watch a scene. And now everything is like this. And so children's brains are trained that way. The other thing that's happened to children is they carry these backpacks. And so they're all like this, carrying backpacks. And to ride a horse, you have to sit like this. So you have to stretch these muscles and contract these. So physically, it makes them more healthy. But if they learn patience from a horse, they can do so much more in life. And it's there's an old saying, don't waste time, but take time. And you have to take time with the horse to let them tell you what they're saying. You just don't go, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. They're not a machine. Mm-hmm. They're not a machine.
Yes, and if you want to go and pick one of their feet, you have to, it takes time to do that.
There's a whole art of that. When the kids come to camp, or when I first start adults, you come to the part about having to clean out the hooves, and everyone goes, and I just can't do that. The first thing I say is, well, you have the weapon in your hand,
yes,
so he can't hurt you. Animals, the horse is an animal of flight. And so for them to pick up their foot is a matter of trust for them. Mm-hmm. Because once that foot is up, they can't go. And to pick up that foot, you have to hold their leg a little bit, and you feel them release to you mentally. They start trusting. And at that moment, then you just push them a little bit off balance, because if you were going to pick up your foot, you'd have to go off balance, pick up the other one. Push them off balance a little bit, and again, that's trust for them to be pushed off balance. And then pick it up in a way that says, I'm the head of the herd, but you can trust me. So one of the the things that horses teach you that's so important is patience. It's the art of negotiation. It's saying, I am the head of the herd, but I earned it through respect. How many of these things do we need in life?
Well, you need every one of those, and particularly when raising children, and and as an employer, you need all of that.
When I'm teaching, I spend so much of my lesson. You'll hear a lot of my verbiage will be more philosophy, and the parents love to watch this because you're raising my kids for me. But it's important that they put their heels down. It's important they hold their reins correctly, and to learn to ride a 1,000-pound animal safely. And the other thing it does, of course, for kids, when they can do that, they get a sense of control in their lives. But it's not a control through power. It's not a control through force. It's a control through a negotiation and understanding how something works. And like you ride a horse every day to their limit. Once you go past the limit, the horse tells you they stop being cooperative.
Right.
And every day is different. Well, isn't that also what we do in life? When you're talking to someone and you're having a conversation, and perhaps you're managing an employee and you have to take them to their limit, but if you go over that limit, they start shutting down.
That's absolutely right. So there's physical, mental benefits always round. And that is what everybody, it's not just about the fortunate being able to go take their children and, as you say, have their heels down, look pretty on a horse. It's about so much more than that.
Our barn is the great leveler. There are a lot of kids there that are square pegs trying to fit into a round hole at school. They all fit in because they all have one desire, and that is to love these animals and to be with these animals. And as I say that, the horse is the teacher. I'm just the cheerleader. I've had some of the most influential families in Dallas. I've taught their children and the adults. And then I've had students who I help them any way I can make their tuition every month. Sometimes there's things that we have to do that can help them do that. But I know how important this is.
Right.
So it's not about, certainly I have to be able to feed my horses. But it's about bringing people on in life.
Well, what a huge thing for you to be able to
I love it.
Have that. It really, and you've had some great success stories. Some of your students you've had them since they've been 5 years old, and then all the way through to over 70 years old. And but you've had them from starting to just even sit on the back of the horse to jumping these crazy 6-foot fences.
Yes, I have. Our camp, we actually have a pony camp that we start them at 5. We don't really start serious until 8, just because they need to be able to concentrate for longer periods of time and have a little bit more strength and coordination. But yes, I had a young man, Stephen. I remember hugging him when he was 8, and now he's 6'4", and he was a national champion. I have a woman, Alma, who started riding with me when she was 63. She's going to be 70 this year. She comes out there a couple times a day. And she makes it a point, because it's so easy to say, I don't want to do that today. But once she's there, the magic kicks in, and she just loves it. And it's keeping her health and keeping her active. One of my instructors, Bethany, started with me when she was 11, and she decided in high school this is what she wanted to do. And I said, well, you've got to go to England. That's where I went.
Yeah,
I know. But they had, at the time, they had the program to learn how to ride. Now, of course, I'm also certified with the United States Eventing Association. All the big associations now are finally understanding that people shouldn't just be able to hang out a shingle. Sometimes I get a lot of horror stories of people that have been other places, and I have to undo a lot of the fears and a lot of things that they learned that perhaps weren't correct.
Right.
So to have an industry standard is so great now. But so I have Bethany, and she's wonderful. And then, of course, my daughter, who I said, I said, you can do it if you want. You don't have to do this. And she just passed her certification with the United States Eventing Association. She's the youngest one in Texas, and there's only 4 in the United States her age. And she has won a gold medal with the North American Young Rider Championships, which is like the Junior Olympics.
That's fantastic.
So we have a very strong faculty, and we're very much interested in the individual.
Yes.
And bringing them on and keeping them safe.
And keeping them safe. Well, I mean, you see the photos of Rebecca and the jumps that she does. I mean, I just gaze at those photos and think, wow.
Yeah, me too.
As I'm going over my tiny little ones on the ground, I'm like, how does she do that?
Yeah.
It blows my mind. But you also have a young lady with cystic fibrosis. I
do. Kristen started with me when she was 7. And her mother actually rode, and so her mother knew the benefits, and I teach her mother still when Kristen's in school. Kristen is one of our very foremost up-and-coming competition riders now. She's little. She is tough as nails because she knows what it takes to fight and get things done. And we're just thrilled to have her, and she's great fun. We've got a competition team right now of really hot to trot 11 to 13-year-olds, and they are so fun. They're coming along now. You know, it teaches them time management, it teaches them teamwork, all the stuff that they have to learn in the others. But you've got that one critical thing, and that's the horse. And the horse is not predictable.
No. No, and if you lose focus for one moment, then that horse will show.
They will. Easy to learn how to win. You also have to learn how to lose, and you have to understand it's always the rider's fault and not take it out on your animal, and then learn how to come back and make it successful the next time.
Well, so you've got some summer camps coming up. So just in wrapping up, tell us about what the children can expect from the summer camps.
Summer camps, we ride. We've got some unmounted things depending on the level. We've got competition camps where they do everything from competition grooming to all the different phases of a competition. The younger camps, it's games on horses. They think they're having games, but they're learning how to ride a horse.
Oh,
and the main focus is safety and fun.
Safety and fun. Well, I would love to come to one of your summer camps, Becky.
We do have adult
You
camps.
do have adult summer camps. Well, then I am there.
Western and English.
Find out, Western and English. Find out more at Becky Brown, horsemanship.com, and call Becky. She is the best. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time. Bye-bye.